Hello everybody, and you're watching the channel that nobody watches, the Punk Hiro Show, and I'm your host, unfortunately for you, Punk Hiro, and it's time for another episode of Let's Draw. Let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Draw. And today I am drawing Superman. And when I think about Superman, I think about Christopher Reeve. To me, he is the ultimate Superman. He will always be Superman. I think he'll always be my generation's Superman. Now, I know there's been different incarnations of Superman. But for me, he embodies everything that Superman is. And I have not yet seen an actor who has really brought all those elements to the table. The innocence that Superman has. Yet all of this power. It's a tough role to tackle. You know, Superman is an alien. It's hard for people to believe, since he does say, he stands for truth, justice, and the American way. But to me, Superman's more of a global character. Anyway, I'm laying in some grays here, different shades of gray. That's a Prismacolor, and I'm going in with a black here to try to highlight the cape. Now, this doesn't look exactly like Christopher Reeve because I'm doing a comic book rendition. But I'm going in some blacks with a Faber-Castell pen. Those Faber-Castells, I love them so much. Of course, I put tape around the edges so my paper wouldn't bend when I laid in the watercolors. I'm not using heavy watercolors here. I just took some toilet paper and some watercolor and just brushed it on the page. Now I'm using a whiteout pen. This is one of my favorite tools, these whiteout pens. You can just bring so much out with highlights and other things. Lines in the hair, highlights on the S, highlights in the face. Lighting is an important thing when it comes to drawing. You always want to know where your light source is coming from. And once you understand light sources and where they come from, then you can manipulate them. Like, for example, this light source is coming from the left, but there's also a light source in front of him. And that may be kind of illogical, but it makes for a more aesthetically pleasing drawing, in my opinion. The more highlights you can bring out, the more gleam, the more shine that you can bring out on a character. I don't know, it just has a really nice feel to it. So there's a close-up. He doesn't look exactly like Christopher Reeve, but he does have, the dimple in the chin and similar eyebrows, and he has the swirl. To me, Superman is not Superman without the swirl. But when they took the swirl away, man, I was devastated. Seriously. How can you have Superman without the swirl? But Christopher Reeve was a legit big guy. He was like 6'4" and 200 pounds, and he was the first Superman not to have to wear shoulder pads or anything like that. So, yeah. Good times, good memories. I remember my mom taking me to see Superman at the old Northwest Cinema, which no longer exists. It's a Ruby fucking Tuesdays. Hallelujah. Yeah, right? Anyway, hope you enjoy the piece. Hope you learned something today. I know I didn't. Until next time, you've been watching the channel that nobody watches, the Punk Hiro Show. I'm out of here, guys.